But the main topic for today, John Mahama's running mate. That is what we're going to discuss much on the John Mahama's running mate. And then you better discuss UTV, Jandam be on through the dust into the Ashanti region. Say John Dramani Mahama say Oba SHS no Obesamo Ako remarking on some of the SHS documents now. Abrana Enya no kre. This is something that we're going to talk about today. Na Afride Ajewon so again chira say Mela the choice about say or no the okujato ablakwa any choice. But I think say men so the well me pesina to the but vende. Jahibiana Uncle Fanisa. When you also was watching China Fide, I say or choice and say John Mama Betty Meti is friend that what you see any of our choices now, you know Ababe Ejuma and now. And see a for 1 hour with Monofi. We're going to stream 1 hour of our day today. But Ochina de Yentimi Emma and Mama Enche Jumadino I say.
To you, the kingmakers of the NDC, I say thank you for electing me with a resounding 297,603 votes, which constitutes 98.9% of the total valid votes cast. This margin of victory is deafening and emphatic and resounding, and it is indicative of the unwavering singular intent of the NDC to win the 2024 election. As I crisscross the length and breadth of this country, clocking about 13,000 kilometers, I was reminded at every stage of the journey of the enormity of the job that is ahead of us. I accept this onerous responsibility placed on my shoulders with absolute humility and a deep sense of respect for the tough tasks that lie ahead in resetting our beloved nation Ghana to one that allows us to regain our lost glory. Ours is a nation that led the decolonization process in Africa, a nation held up as the model of democracy and governance in Africa, a nation of prudence in the management of its economy and resources. This victory is not about me, John Dramani Mahama. It is about our people and the creation of a society that allows our citizens to live a decent and dignified life. It is about expanding access to health care so that our mothers and sisters will not lose their lives carrying out their biological duty of procreation. It is about the little children whose promising future is cut short because of a dangerous boat crossing in search of an education. It is also about managing our economy and finances in a manner that does not require us to appropriate the lifetime investments of our retired senior citizens and the middle class. This victory is about raising security and investments and funds for future generations, and not just for spending in a day. It is about restoring trust once again in our institutions and engendering love and pride in the name Ghana. But first, we must win the elections in 2024. And that will require from all of us hard work and winning the trust of the people of Ghana. The NDC and Ghana's interests must therefore continue to guide and bind us all together as one people from one great family. From today, right here in the hall of the University of Development Studies, I declare that the internal competition for the flag bearership position is over. You have chosen experience with vision over experiment, and I'm confident that in December 2024, Ghanaians will make that choice that puts us back on the path of building the Ghana we want together. We must flip the coin from competition to cooperation. We need cooperation to build a better Ghana and a better NDC. I'm therefore calling for cooperation among all elected parliamentary candidates and your aspirants and supporters. Incumbent members of parliament who lost their primaries must also keep their heads up. You remain heroes for the good job you have done and continue to do. We need your experience and talents for the honors job that faces us when the good people of Ghana give us a mandate to steer the affairs of this country once more. Above all, we need you in the remaining 1.5 years of your parliamentary mandate to carry out your duties in Parliament with dedication and commitment to safeguard the interests of the Ghanaian people. And I wish to assure you that I intend to meet with these MPs at the earliest possible opportunity. I wish to assure you that you are still assets of the party, and we shall make use of the talents and experience that you have garnered. The party needs you and will continue to rely on you as we seek to win election 2024 and change the destiny of the suffering people of Ghana. We must remain one solid family. Let me emphasize and urge all of us as members of the NDC to rededicate ourselves, commit our energies and resources to work hard to win 2024. I assure you of my open-mindedness, my open-door policy, and my commitment to run a government that will be based on merit and competence. Let me reaffirm my unshaken commitment to offer the needed support to our parliamentary candidates and all constituencies to make certain that we secure a healthy majority in...
All right, enti we are NDC near Jumadia, Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Edasha Wonsano. Also making sure the party need to marry this year's election. Now for me, the next year's 7th January, NDC are forming the next government. And yet easy task. And now we NDC near also we pacho mama yina yen share sadden so. Because we be the natuna no so me NDC year 2 bits as a day a Juma pa na we party na unya Juma bianca. Enti te send a mema fato me hoso se me ye na won so fato ho se won so da bia obehwe na so wa extend wo so wa share wa like wa comment ama afoforo nsa aka no. That is your duty, your core duty as a member of the party. And I say, onye NDC Nikurana, opese Ghana, ediye. That is the reason why the BR Oba now never better. That is something I want us to discuss and talk about today. Now, per the constitution of NDC, choice of vice president, nipa ye be say only lead the party, in consultation with the national executives and the council of elders, Oba presenting nipa na afidi on national executive and then the council of elders abobo mu ahwe nipa kropotia opese on ne baba yejuma. But so Article 45 of NDC's constitution, that is what the party constitution actually says. And this is say John Dramani Mahama Ababe, the leader of the party, and I said the flag bearer of the party for this year's election. The onus is now on John Dramani Mahama to pick a candidate and then present that person to the Council of Elders and then the National Executive Committee na onomo abobomu. Enti ene e ba be say nipa kuo potin na o me again say Ghana for dodo na esufre a me pacha o me ka ho bi. That is something I also have to say because me nya running mate na mepe. Nya vice president of Ghana mepe. Enti me pacha mo comment say mo yimi dia film no. Me pacha on fa me ka ho na. Me so me a party ba. Me say mo me ka ho bi. So that is something we all need to understand. Enti ene ye betie fi John Dramani Mahama ankasa num say wama e gist kakra bi na nipa ben pa na ofi say obefa no say o men running mate. After that now I'll just bring this wheel. Na nipa wo pesa wo ye no ye be wheel a ya hwe nipa say wo lack e adwuma John Dramani Mahama enyini mane meye the running mate of the party no. Na Jane and Abba. But let's see the second choice again. I'm just wheeling for myself. So to remember also opportunity, you also come on board, then you also wheel for you. So why now Wolfie said John Dramani Mahama fun as a running mate when you home. So we're gonna discuss this kind of people. That is something we're gonna talk about also. And to me, Pacha, Mama Young John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and what you can come on. Name is and say, Party Kakarakana NDC no. Why partner officer will be to my befano as a running mate this year? Now na call election. Young John Dramani Mahama, and what you can come on.
No bien nimnipa otie oya hombresini owo nimdie so oye nipa onyiyimu oye adwuma ma obia Na bra me ye omampanya me yi me ministers. Ono oye nipa baako a oye n'adwuma yie papa. Enti eno de mamusro. Ni ameka ne se senya amamresi da ho no yamanyo kono so ekwan eda ho a yede yi ye nipa a gina bebia yede nipa no beto presidential candidate and national executive and council of elders ye na ene yede yetibom na ye nipa ye friend running mate na saa dwumadie no enye afi ne ebe no afi eba ena ye be yi saa nipa no enti emre no duru ho a modem nkoso mbɔ mpae na mokoso mbɔ mpae
se wutie nsɛm ya His Excellency John Dramani Mahama kan dia ase woye yimi afirim. In fact, I'm not happy with John Mahama. I said John Mahama yimi afirim because what John Mahama is saying now, they say nipa kropotia obeyi as the running mate no. Abra no ye president na nipa e minister e wa aban no. The nipa ebo na dwuma yie. So in a way no yimi na say dun kete nchen. That is what John Dramani Mahama is trying to tell us. In a way, I'm not happy with John Mahama, but of course, me NDC internal, that is something I need to understand because the choice of the running mate, on the flag bearer, on the bar appointee, na afedi or the Council of Elders, and then the National Executive Committee as the constitution of the party says. And John Mahama also made mention of the same facts. In a way, no John Mahama so because me minister or John Mahama a pencil. I see don't get the answer any minister. And then in a way, there's an out of Rollins, so I saw but still no yentiase. And see, Abushan, for what we're going to discuss today, is we'll beat him to our agenda, but then we wheel it. Now, when Nipa office or any John Mahama years on and call 2024, wait to me, Abuama NDC, Ajia Kumiano. I am minister under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. It seems that Okudzeto Ablakwa is also a very nice guy. Very nice gentleman. Okudzeto Ablakwa has been in the news recently. Okansen be as a carry weight. Region to Fremont no NDC stronghold. So do you think Okudzeto Ablakwa ebetimi lead party no any John Mahama kwaje komia every the John the saying NPP candidate here wa bon eho anase omontimi nye. In fact me ka say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Boma enye me nko na meka. You might be thinking say you me nko na meka say Mahmoud Bawumia Abon. But that is not the truth. Because Ghana for nyina hu se papa no abon. Na se ye tena se ye hwe han ma obi wa bon se be Ghana che ntem dia se enye ye o. Enye ye. Enti mama ye nko ne Ghana for bi nko twin nko mo se about wa ye ba be koi. Ye the John Mahama o experience asi ho. Any obi wa bon wa gina ho. Hwan na mo fi se to aba na mana e be ye.
Me Pacho, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your friend me Joe, won't
Me friend me Musilia.
Me Pacho, my main bisa wo. And some na question and say, MB before I to aba eyi. Ba me aso mbegina party ni nyame ya aduma next year.
Amede. Amede. Baba be dey amagana fo. Wa bon si obi a Ghana. Wa bon kura fi na na do.
Exactly. Nti enyame nko na meka. Wa bon even wa bon kura chen na nado. Millicent who say Asiedu Nkatia is the father of the party. So you don't think say Asiedu Nkatia a bit my best argument. Whilst LT Charles also thinks say Asiedu Nkatia is qualified. Now I don't ask more email from me because me di wom because looking at the list no me pa yo ya hwe se me ankaza me hwiri na se me ankaza me homa me do me di wom because me to me running mate be vice president abepe. That is the honest truth. Oh, excellent job. I wish you know, I seems to be like a magician because when you meet me, Abo Jumana, meet me about John Dramani Mahama and NDC, I'm a Abo Jumama Ghana, I get into my boyfriend because looking at the things I need in a bit me, you know, these are serious things in a bit me. Ghana and a pesi a GCO, and yet to be a party nko adwuma na ye. No, that is not what we're going to do today. Yeah, adwuma a bit me Ghana a developer but John Dramani Mahama and I be paying ama Ghana for agenda to himself papa bit my. That is the truth. John Dramani Mahama abo adwuma no to the sense Ghana for e wo gidie woni mu se papa yi o de adwuma na mana obetimi aye. Me patch your program air 1 hour the monofie nti say woni me ya adwen na enjoy program na I think say me nua bia kan obetimi ama ho say adwuma na me bo no wani je ho because I mostly share my own ideas and my thoughts but ebia na won so ne menya adwen won so betimi aka ma ho say bia o me nua we ne say abeyesi we ne say abeyesi sometimes we need to get feedback from you and say yeah we all know now along the point no so remember all kasa and I say wa kwanya so be join the WhatsApp line which is 0508117781 be patch your WhatsApp line ko ana afidi you know about join the the opportunity is there you can also call as well and then we all join. Now there is something aside the running mates issue, no. UTV for a year program be. Now on that particular program, no. Almost share that to in futuro. E di Ghana for any say omodi gu John Dramani Mahama ni mase. Say papai aka asem bi. Abra omo anka se nim se John Mahama enka asem no. Na omo two futuro no be no. They have now come back to apologize. Say ensem na ye kan no na enye no kware na ye kato John Mahama so nti ye pachewo. Pachewo me yanko ni nkuti apology no. We'll come back and we discuss why they intentionally did those kind of things. Pachewo me yanko ni nkuti yo.
Sem no so na ye hwe UTV kasebo awie ye news no so no ye sorry bi no na ye voice pop. Ye ko asantemantema hinkru Kumasi emu ene Ghana de shebi edi nkomo se opani ono na etu franka edi ama NDC amanyuko 2024 general elections a baso no mu His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wa kokase so samba ye mampani biem e wo man Ghana mu a afi nkwada ewie senior high school no won resource buy wase resource no obesan ame amark no biemu esanse resource no hu se aponi ade ekoso egumu na eno nam so ma de hye bi e Kumase wom keka nsem pi a bia na nsem fata na eno ana UTV kase ya de chawpe modern ema opani a otu franka ama NDC amanyuko His Excellency John Dramani Mahama esanse dedi kan no omampani dada otu franka ama NDC yenra John Dramani Mahama onyina simpie bia so da enkan se ono osabe mampani wo man mu a afi wasi resource ba so e ba ye no obesan ame aye remarking obesan mayan marking fufuo biem onka wo ba bia da na say UTV kase ya yemfum so kase pa enu nti UTV adwuma ko no ye mpanifo ane ye news editors and a news team ni nyina ye de chow pakese ma opani a otu franka ama NDC amanjuko no His Excellency John Dramani Mahama se enfumso na yaye onfanchen enu achi empanifo a edi NDC amanjuko no animu omso ye pa omuchew sanso na NDC chitafo nyina ye de chew pa emu oden ma omo na fe UTV ahefo nyina ye pa omu nyina chew se sorry no ankoyi omampani dada His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on kan be biada so be mampani a afi wase resource no obesan ama ya mark no biemu na akotro kunkunum kra okomebusam eti aduenu nwotwe nyiyimu edumiensa o se do ye mfumso a woka no ye de che no enti we de
Pacho someone a quotation or the chat no se mebusam se ne ye mfumso a opacha no ye de che no UTV no when was a Ghana your culture be or Ghana why we need to take those kind of things very very serious. Say I'm here the problem about Ghana because say o UTV no what could you know Kumase Canada Japan no mun say NDC to mean 30% of the votes in Kumase NDC we never I said that ko tun futuro agu asante 4 asum said John Mahama so ba obesia calling for remarking of wasia nkwala no twere ama timamufuo aso papa adi na tem ne yete a okono in fact say na obi te ka mu e o race cross a okotamala ɔte asɛm no ɛkɔ ne na ɔte flight him a ɔtie news na wana som akɔ ebia New York no ɔde kɔ ne ɛkɔ sawi akontombera wo sɛden no ɔde kɔ ne ewu ye anase bibitu no ɔte asɛm na sɛbe ɛne ɔnte ase no ɔwu di saa adwen na ahye ne timi ɛde ɛkɔ ɛne then you turn back to come and say o ba be pachaw sɛden the whole UTV adwuma munim ye no sɛ mo hyɛda edi tro wɔ Ghana egu amanfo so and that is the culture ɛya ka Ghana ni wɔ Ghana ni betuma be gina abɔnten agu w'anim ase na waba abegyina hɔ sɛ me pachaw privately meanwhile nipa ɔka kyerɛ no waka ama nipa no de kɔ the same American what about obi a oti asɛm no not kama sɛbe onyankopɔn fa ne kratie wanya accident awu anaasɛ obi a na ɔda gi ana ɔda komfa no chi a ɔno so awu ɛkɔ no ɔde asɛm na hyɛ n'adwen mu ɛkɔ ɔde dwomama ho adwen mɔne awu kɔ nsamando obi a ɔte kama na ɔkɔ wanchi a otie news no ɔkɔ aka n'adwen mu ɛnɛ mo asɛm bɛgyina hɔ sɛ mo ba bɛpa kyɛw saa na ɛyɛ ade ɔgana wɔn sɛ man na yɛ nyina ɛtim no sɛ man no ɛbɛyɛ yɛ a ɛyɛ mene wo na ɛbɛma man na yɛ but we don't have to build a society a ebi ma yɛ ɔmo adwene sɛ ɔmo deɛ ɛbɛkɔ go di abribia no ɛnkɔkɔ na ɔsɛe man no nko a adwuma mu nim yɛ ano no Kwache Frederick and discuss this kind of issue because they're a very, very serious issue. If you about then about the running mate aspect, but we need to clear this kind of system because UTV they seem to be doing this kind of things frequently. Fred, remember what about 1 hour with the Munufie so? Baby Aboko there. UTV style way enye UTV nkwa Ghana for sa problem we eya ka Ghana ni was a Ghana ni timi ko gina abonten egu ni nua ni mase e kan se bone to ni nua so owi a privately na wasen ba be gina ho say me ba be pacha me wa ne otiye no ate de ko. How do we reverse these kind of things?
Yeah, mame enchia me nua no ma omo platform yi so na menda omo nyina asese omo agebra kan ho a nyina ye to adwere. In fact, but me who sa particular video na akwa na ti ho pacha no na me boafu aduru be 10,000 what they say height
because
too annoying. Oh, ade na omo ye ni nyina no UTV e wo he enya akra na wo ade na that particular story no kwai no Kumasi. So even if so a story about concerning that particular issue na ade na wanya na wakra ade na wan kwai no Cape Coast na o ma so no Kumasi na ade ye dey ode eye adwuma hyehyɛ o ma hyehyɛ adwuma no na o wi a no aba ka kire say o we are sorry na dey and na eko o ma so on say nura ye program no obi betra ha say na JM akwakosa ayi na ode story bi abata ho the same thing no the same thing and who said the enkrofo no react to the issue so it tells you the kind of hatred they have for the man.
Yes,
I think this issue no we are looking at it say oh be a tribalism there be I say go beyond that. Go beyond that because on say or more patch on or man for the rare story no interview no koye no say we ye no
yes
pa ho chaw say de o ka bone no apa ho chaw
exactly
ba wo patch o de na o ye a wo patch say wo ka say wo say bien the issue na wo mu no interview no akoye de nkrofo ne ye dey e kan ye no na wa ye dey wa ko so no and no necessary dey o ka kire Ghana fo ansa na wo chopper bi a wo dey ayi dey the aba. So when you hear video no, you say raw, but any raw. When you go into it deeply, no damage. Last year, the same group of company, so despite media, no, and you so what fake news bi a ɛbɛba biara mokɔfa aseɛdu nkatia picture bɛto hɔ sɛ JM sɛ aseɛdu nkatia se deɛ no na the same station ne logo na ɛyɛ dɛ ɛda so the same station ana ɔmbɛka sɛ o JM adidi asantefo atɛm ɛna deɛ the same station ɔmo wie na ɔmo ayɛ dɛ na ɔmo abɛpa akyɛw so ahunu
Yes.
no what kind of link ɛna wɔne saa political party no yɛ dɛ ɛwɔ mo deɛ kyɛn bia mo na ɔmo use mo ɛde mo yɛ dɛ ɛde ntwa ntoro gu
Amanfoɔ so.
Dramani Mahama so that same station no ana owusu bɛmpa akɔɔ no ne nsa sɛ jɔɔto no ɔkɔtena hɔ ɛkɔdidi Ibrahim Mahama atɛm kɔkeka nsɛm yɛ dɛ egu no so a ɔno deɛ wamfa nkyɛ wɔn mo a osiw wɔn mo a afei na owusu bɛmpa na mo yɛ dɛ ɛɛpa akyɛw no so ahunu enti no ɛyɛ ade a ɔmo ɛyɛ enti I think say to me anka NDC ɛnsɛ sɛ ɔmo take saa matter way lightly because I don't think say ɔmo yɛ anything good for NDC enti no anka mofo ɔmo nyina baabi ɛsɛ mo de ɔmo gyina ɛkyina no ɔmo yɛ biribi ɔmo bɛyɛ dɛ ɔmo yɛ biribi a ɔmo bɛdwene ho because ɛyɛ adeɛ sɛ ɛyɛ adeɛ a ɔmo ahyɛ da na ɔmo yɛ dɛ ɔmo yɛ adeɛ no ɛne da ho bɔne deɛ ɛnyɛ yi ɛna yɛ ka ne sɛ ignorant of the law no ɛnyɛ dɛ ɛnyɛ excuse so ate aseɛ enti no wowɔ a whole editorial news no go through a certain processes ansa na the final delivery na yɛ dɛ aba what aseɛ
yes
even before cry beba cry no we discuss what we are coming to talk about
and yes, and you plan and you prepare. Yes,
that's it.
And yes, I will find microphone see when you man our
so if say a whole editorial news number trase actually say adwuma we aba betra ha be kan news abeye ya aside that no most time for microphone the kogina ho ko interview nkrofo based on that particular asem no yes na munya news ni ye dey enti anya fast checking bia ayi NDC our communication officers bebre ebi ba mu radio station ho da bia aside that President Mahama or the special aider or any nama or the campaign. So even if it is believed say papa na dey akabibia, can't you even call that any papa nipa bia around NDC say ebia we ni aide yatie. So we want to confirm and ade na president be dey ebeka bibi say
yes say
intention that is what they decided to do. Now they drew Asante region and see the way Omuko present asem no kire wo also fire no and one is omo de and see the key word that the bia omo use the yes say asem bia yes bia no the source no trace near dey den so na yes entro bi ye dey ewo baby nyina wo mai mu yete the former president Mahama ye dey ekan concerning exams here and curriculum. Or making it stands clear. One can be say, may bano, may be a remark near the other. And you see, all those who spoke, they are ignorant people. And you see, we the last time we call program so Mansamusa program so na wayek PRO no was so. And I told him point and the statement now he later came and accepted it. And I'm catching and say, for you pay 11 cities to a teacher now or invigilation, Now say Encolano did 10 cities now out of 30 students or more class and now 40 no more than 400 cities within that period. Now we want to barely on Quaduma. And Papa na explaining the reason why until my 11 year cities because exams no more partner with GES. Into
Yes.
GES they produce vigilators na teachers no. And no match almost say teachers no kro mu dia katua dada. Into no so more yeah it is part of their duty so be vigilation near there. Into we just for snack and something be basenka why GES for more kwan no more recruit or more teachers near there no more pay or more well and KBS. That was the explanation the man gave. And the man also accepted. I told him, say, they are aware. Say some parents even budgeted for the money. Omuko PTA meeting could be say she can say that fee we be for examination more practice. I say yes. Out of omo a checks in omo investigations omo no. Some teachers have been attacked. The last time I catch you, say, oh, school now a teacher ni. Now when it comes to examination, you know who's a teacher ni a popular. It's not because the teacher is teaching, but because exams or one crofam or maybe teacher ni a very popular. You will say teacher for any day. What I say. And you say, why yes, I bet there now. It's either they will beat you, and some headmasters have lost their properties and other things because of immunity. It's me credit trot also. So I will push students in there, dinner. And you who is an and yes, small, you know, who is no. And
Yes.
my worry is a man climbing Shiadi.
But that is something Oko Council na afede yaso mu na afede yetwabo. And that is exactly what John Mama was referring to. Ama yakofa sansem we nyina de beto no so ama the whole UTV and etimi play this kind of propaganda for NPP party no. It's very surprising.
Fortunately or unfortunately, no jam career, no. Actually, and now I have for so yeah day. And the battle so pepe do yeah day, do can no. I do watch for so the day. And the battle so pepe. So when I was talking to the man, I told him, say, Jam is the man on the ground. Because so your president here, natural any near day, ever for one, and cast information we run your day. Oh, yeah. And if we get a president like that, or solve problem or solve the root cause, you two at the end of the day, I say, because when him the other day, air cost was system him. Oh no. And exactly what the man said, no, the American Sapa Pepper also did to me say that is how it is. So oh no. So it is a problem. Mimi no me and you who say a yiki to a bio. But the doctors, the nurses, the teachers now you produce you and then Omwana the action and crana you produce you and out of that. No one a teacher for any nurses and any doctors, no optional. So ɛkyena no yɛfa aduro bi ne yɛde wɔwɔ a wofu sɛ me na wɔyɛ dɛn me na wɔyɛ me what I say. I remember said there's a story bi a teacher ni bi wɔkyerɛ student a wakyerɛ nadeɛ na ɔkɔ hospital yɛagye no ato hɔ agya ɔkɔɛ obi baa okua paneɛ ne nneɛma bɛgu ɔhwɛ nipa anim a ne student a wakyerɛ nadeɛ na ɔbaa bɛwɔ ne paneɛ ɔsi dabi ɔma ne hwɛ na ɔma ne nwɔ ne paneɛ yes, because when you go at no crowd to me kind.
Yes.
So how come I with me a day? Every drew her never was oh yeah day. Oh yeah.
All right, Matiminia.
So in fact.
Medasi. We will be moving on to the next topic because I think UTV there more ya fairly Ghana for intelligence animano more na more. The next topic I have on which is more important to Obi or Ghana ni papa. Ghana ni ba mapa. The choice of running mate for John Dramani Mahama. Will be a Ghana ni now here Ghana kwande a adia idawa kumaso. Because NDC history in the choice of the running mate. Rollins edi kind de yura aka ene koe. Along the point was a sa aka ede yura atamels yankopon fa ne kresi ye ebae. Atamels along the point in so no efa enipa baako miensa. Na edu John Mahama so no John Mahama ebe wene power the man. John Dramani Mahama edi yura amisa ata yankopon fa ne kresi ye akọ baako. Oni yura maame na Jane omokoye omanwene. And then the third time John Dramani Mahama is coming back to become the president of the land 7th December 2024 not January you're sworn in I'm gonna be the president of the land. Why any the person officer John Mahama then a qua be but the choice no the better screen so me I imagine hey me can't be. In fact, me nya running mate na me pay. That is the honest truth. So me ti hena John Mahama friend me say we nua William Monofi ama nkwana na ye nipa ma yi ne se me ne ne kwa. I'll be very 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 happy. Na medika ma o clue no John Mahama chire nipa potia opeso be running mate no ba say John Mahama body no oyimidi mfiri nchen. And I said when he described the kind of person no I wasn't part of it yet I want to be part of it. Mama yan kone sen kuti John Mahama biem. Then I will come back and ask him why per the description of the man no why you me sinchen ti abusia for mama yan sen kone video ni biem.
No bien nim nipa otie oya hobrasini owo nim die so oye nipa onyiyi mu oye adwuma ma obia na bra meye omampanyia me yiyi me ministers ono oye nipa baako a oye n'adwuma yie papa enti eno de mamusro ni ameka ne se senya amamresi da ho no yamanyo kono so ekwan eda ho a ye de yi ye nipa gina bia a ye de nipa no beto presidential candidate and national executive and council of elders ye na en ye de etibom na ye yi nipa ye friend running mate na saa dwumadie no enya afi ne ebe no afi eba na ye be yi saa nipa no enti emre no dru
afi eba no John Mahama ka asem wo 2023 enti afi eba no ene afi ewo mi o se nipa obeyi ne as ne running mate no one oye NDC ni me megine ha me NDC ni o wa ahobrase megine ha me wa ahobrase o se o kan nipa nyina bom eya adwuma ma nipa nyina me pa cho megine ha me ye adwuma bom me kan ma obi ate. The other criteria John Mahama de beka ho in fact me ne nya adwene se abra oye president na nipa no eye minister wom John Mahama ade de bone na mayo edie bone pa na maya list ya na say per the description ya only ase wayi me film. In fact the case man gi ade a John Mahama ye no ho me mpe enti abusa for ye wheelie me di wom yen wheelie na hwe say me ma me ho two choices me wi amere kwa che Frederick beba o ma ne two choices. Oka ye mhwe nipa se John Mahama yi na ye ne beje nte abusan fo mama ye nhyase well because I know doing one I don't get you. Mahu nipa mienu ya omodi abai ye ba be ka omo ho asem kakra na ye wia ya san akoheti biem ahwe ade Asiedu Nketia the current chairman of NDC no ebie na onima Asiedu Nketia obo adwuma ma NDC papa obo adwuma ma NDC waye member of parliament Asiedu Nketia efiri se kwa in fact me amegene madi Asiedu Nketia chi akona fuom nyina me ne general akotana se fuom atwem komo Asiedu Nketia yi ase na megina hobi Asiedu Nketia the kind of person Asiedu Nketia en owo mere ewa adaje edo nipa se ye ka Asiedu Nketia ho nsema waye minister nyina ewo NDC onye nipa ketwa ebusanfo ye ka Asiedu Nketia asema emere ne beko eti child me sure say ba na bebe madui oni me yaade ye ma me professor na Jane ma me ya ko school ye ka so be a professor enye ni paketo ko school why also why minister e wen this apen so To send a John Mama can say John Mama, mommy way, minister nothing I will person you missing Chindia. In fact, you have to rethink your decision again because you have the opportunity to say wouldn't be dean because come a council of elders. Say nipa way na here no. Fred, I ask a horse me and how many post me TV.
Man, say we do here in you,
Now we say my
but you see, the other aspect of criteria now is what you were inferior status.
I watch that as how we been
Elimination by rough status.
rough artist, no.
But I think talking about a Siedo Nkatia, not only one thing I see about the man is we are a very focused and determined person. Now we are committed to a Juma the day.
Or the man.
So the Juma Shannon sir, we're very committed to the work. And I see something in him above all. Was I a very honest person? Maybe who knows, Obi anya 100% in Bibia Bayadi, but in normal terms, you know, who say we're very, very honest. We're very honest when it comes to a normal, like in terms of political year. And I obey a politics, almost general secretary, the longest serving general secretary, was the minister near the other corruption issues here anywhere, yet media, yeah, they attacking on it, those kind of things. Looking at it, my Professor Jane, and also it's like Obamuti said the former president Mills Ebermunu. I say former president Mills Obe Ramuna and say on the crowd of minister appointing a direct from Rollins hand.
That's something I was expecting say your mama, me hey, that your mama be family.
But you see, I think say NDC was you know so it's almost me a ball obia as a quiet and lonely person. But all of a sudden, also when it comes in, at least or several purpose. Looking at my men also in terms of performance, in terms of knowledge, any idea there, I think say hey. But there was a time I wanted to refer you to a certain video. You were saying Katiana no indirectly no. Am I a clue? A change of mama di.
I see.
Yes. Omoko central region no. Yes. Okachire central region for straightforward said central region ye baby essentially nkai almost stronghold as compared to Volta region. Because apart from say former president Mahama, former president Jerry Rawlings from Volta region as a president, you know. Every move will be a NDC move no, almost you know central region person has been part. And so no you do about to now the room we see two or my ban and reflected and munyamina NDC day and the share woman. And this one mobile no mass is sour margin what you see. No magic NDC no empo or my embracing a chain. Voter Regina, as I saw my day. Or more. So who know? So per his statement today in some other day or kind of honor. It's out here video now. At least I will get a call deeper. You'll be able to know say now of a sort presenting certain issues to be. But which some of them know is a clear cut fact. But like last time now me catch it say sometimes you know it is not about the personality. Mame no now we first vice chancellor, female vice chancellor at University of Cape Coast, and also with the traces of that kind of discipline. We say more education, you know, principles. So if it is A, it is A. When it came in first, you know, teachers were thinking say A, B, but was taking certain measures view educational sector where the quite transformation
yes.
Those days, you know, teachers on school, dance here, go be the number, be to quite teacher for some time. Now the did that here day, but with those principles, no man out there, they would go a comuno. Who say, as we speak, or by you block near normal by in aside that, you know. One would say the ministry in anti scandal be a day, Okujato as his even when Okujato was his vice crown, and send the brain and now on day, and folly, Okujato near the other. You see, sometimes the answer say we okra, but those days in some man no mukika be too. Okujato so the car pussy washing bina 20,000 Ghana cedis a year. Ninyina na etro.
All right, Mame Mao, the opportunity, me be huili amount. Why the choice? Man can't be teacher into open Mame Nanaji because for me mom there.
Mekwa Okujato ene Mami G.
All right.
Obviously, I know because you are my mom.
You come to me profile kakra. Now for the Casenato there, but unim kwache Frederick. O choices two now. You really ma abaninyana. It's something I want. For me, say John Mahama epe or bar. Young folk be a bit energetic and a bit useful. Youthful. Mama say word no. Me pe Zenato Rollins. Looking at her background, her father, Babi Ofri, Accra, Hozono, Zenato can pull vote for the voter region and then from the Greater Accra region. And then, what background and so bet me at you see a ma. I'm on my me and Mijina Hay, if you bring a bono, if you bono east, which means a met me actually bono and bono half votes in Abba. And then all the Akan region to meet me actually at the Abba. Oh, what a nice I was saying.
Oh, that me say you say also profile na dey man also me share a dimu pa because cut across. You see one thing I want say yana kanena na yen teacher mu bro half for near the no. Sometimes ya dey ka say central region decide near the bro half so decide pa o. When it comes to Ghana elections bro half ye decide papa say we ye adwuma ye o bro half na we dwene I have for 6 no more at the can't other you know oh yeah me who is most of the elections and this year winning in an almost perform well or brown for or more winning elections.
Millicent say I shouldn't deceive myself. Millicent, Ghana's constitution of 40 years. With me, the president money, Mr. Macam 40.
Yeah.
Intimate me the president money. Oh,
yeah. Then after so 40.
Yes. Then we need to look at somebody. Say John Mahama anywhere. Obeti be fill the gap because you be saying this in when about us be 20 years. So if John Mahama 4 years, we need somebody to also fill in the gap on Subeti 8 years. Meaning you follow this kind of argument as well.
Yeah, I do. Me the aspect a woman say, me the only issue I have with the woman, any age. Apart from no, I don't have any issue with her candidature and I say her vice. Meaning say a good choice. But the age, any the future of NDC, so yeah, they account on the other side. So what I say, I will not know.
Abraham say, in as much as election is about, I'm a fan to screen this up. In as much as election is about numbers, we need a matured person to think well with GM. I think Zenato is not there yet. Profits all the way. Minia, what do you think about maturity? What do you talk about maturity here? Because somebody, what did 40 years per the constitution of Ghana no, will be my president. As Zenato or a man, you think, say, what do you think of? One would say there is this misconception about Ghana, say the Panini, Finland, I mean, say the former Prime Minister of Finland, now your bar or less than 41 years. She was, I think, 40 years or so. Yet, with me ruling Finland very peacefully. Because these days, the elections and the governance is about the brain. Any technology, that is what we've been using now, because you can equally use a phone or an iPad to rule a nation. You don't need maturity. It's now for panit. In fact, I didn't know by what is the result. Fred.
I mean, I think I know I did attempt the uncle for reference to, but
Of course, now you will mind
Nana-
about Kokra me. So
but I
Umia
been at
can't
that
cheaters. No, say, eight cheating. I so say, Nado do be 90 years.
but say I been at that game prof team no, or would our crowd and you been at that another team. Age is true, said they all can. Maybe I'm looking at it from that perspective, say age wise, so me very active. Even after the next 4 years, what they are saying. But me, however, even if say you choose the next say or no take another maybe who say or bet me out for 4 years, that all 4 years, who she will choose as her vice, is also very important. So who know say umpo or fanoa. Now say obeko 4 years, which I know say she will not travel more than 4 years. Yes. But say oko 4 years, the person now obe choose no will be very, very important. For me, say they now obe suggesting. Me, I think say Zinato still have a lot of chance in NDC, which is obvious and very clear. What they are saying, she's still youthful. I think say even if for 4 years or 8 years still no obeda so agyina ne na so obetumi aye adwuma no sɛ de yɛdɛ yɛpɛ no what I say because we on say yɛ kan ni on say last na me ka kyerɛ say yɛfa NDC as youth na sisi ɔmo wɔ NDC mu no okɔ parliament ni ade there's this man cry yɛ share that embo ni dey bebree from I think a half or something like that. Oh, the last time now me no, a Greek minister or Thai Eric Opoku.
And it can listen, but just me really on Winnie.
So
They can listen, of course. I think Kupuku is one of the.
I am a obvious choice. Like me down cover person, pa. Me at least I also like him the way or conducting a home and then the way he's also on top of issues. That is the most important thing. How you are on top of issues.
Yeah, on for now, and Abano.
And the ban so
Yes.
so if you are always on top of issues what they are saying every man the shower say I win the way what you say what they are saying the last time I can we say me send you where you be president I appoint you will be no draw national security one man appointment within which consultation na appoint you will be within the shortest possible time no was draw
Baumia mananado answer na dada. Orefia yenkuni nkuti answer with my.
okay.
The society is undisciplined because the economy is informal and there are no consequences, significant consequences for bad actions. You have a society where corruption prevails. You have lawlessness. You have a tax dodging society. You have an unbanked society. You have a loan repayment dodging society. Identity fraud, people assuming identities of others or fake identities, lack of address systems, age cheating systems, age cheating.
Nti answer na Baumia de Mano. Anado fall into this exactly description about Baumia de Mano. That is where you find another corruption. The most significant aspect of it is the age cheating. Remember, I make on one running mate, the vice president, so Oyulumai also the 82 years, but oh boy.
Now, you see, why Baumia is talking about these things, and Ras and Rechi, we were talking about some of the corrupt Okofa, Australia business scandal, and why they buy. Nti no what bamu na buy no onye hwe kura no first adwuma ye de share won sa no de mokoye ye no so ahunu so we na no kan na he is referring to him. You get my point.
I get your point very well.
So ahunu se wo hwe wa bamu na wo hwe ne ye akoso na hwe no ma akoso a ene ba umia sa lamentation ya wo lamenti sa time na no otie akire no no kasa ansem hunu we num nyina ne ade no na wonim se no ma we ye dey ekoso. You see, we have gone beyond saa normal we are working because we're internal issues. It's about time you put systems in place. Ebi na make us say Professor Nana Opoku Adjuma bae no. E dey ohunu in education sector say teacher absenteeism the biggest challenge and other issues. I will introduce you validation. What
Yes.
is here? And you say validation at the end of every month, So what should I do? You'll be validated.
Mm-hmm.
And you say external auditors they only come and check more payroll Now I
Yes.
share what you compare mo book I say teacher ni na you try na cabo so me na wo headmaster no validating and now sanction truly no why adwuma.
Yes.
So it is your headmaster and validate you it means you not be paid.
Okay.
It me validate you 2 weeks. That means what should I do 2 weeks? Your salary has to be divided into two. Now half is given to you, and that thing drop. What I say, a drop away, and it also have to do away with ghost names. Said that I
Okay.
make previously teacher need to me a jar echo different sector and as echo even abroad. Now for 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, now the salary that's here
Eba.
into the system is choked. You know, say this number of teachers are there because at the end of the month, a teacher forcing you to muka. Meanwhile, the teacher is not in the classroom or child. So
All
when
right.
you identify the problem, you find means of what solving it. What you say?
All right. My uncle Abusa for programming air 1 hour with Munufi and we stream 1 hour of our time almost every day. Sundays in Kwana Yama, Monday to Saturday, Debbie Ayabanti, and it is being aired live on YouTube and then on Facebook. Until these two platforms, Nibia Nobitime, I follow here. Just that on YouTube, you were one channel, which is 1 hour with the Munufi, but on Facebook, you were 1 hour with the Munufi and then hour with the Munufi, or you can search at Munufi. Fred, let's address this particular messenger Kwaku Yeboah. I think say Kwaku Yeboah about my man education, but it seems that he didn't learn so much from it. Let me just read and then we just give him answer before we move on.
Yeah.
If Ghana is a serious country, Mahama should have been in prison by now for various corrupt activities under him between 2009 and 2016. Say sometimes I don't know. Say Kwaku Yeboah picture and kasa na down there. I think say Kwaku Yeboah is a bit mature than a bit grown. So he should know, say,
I'm sure I have it.
anyway, yen kasakwa. Ote Ghana. Nasa will say, under John Mama and a corruption, a buy, and you think John Mama called prisoner. You just name just one, say, me mouth too, just one corrupt activity. Say you think say it warrants John Mama should be in prison. And for that matter, Ghana is not a serious country. You think say under Nanado in the last 7 to 8 years, those kind of corruption be and warranty saying in Nanado yen to abentiano. When we want to build a nation like Ghana.
It's not about that where on say nipa wajimi no say bi wen den a why wajimi how vindictive Nanado is. Yeka UTV stories you kura ye jabi Opuni Dr. Opuni.
Yes.
A very mature person at least and quite asset to Ghanaians. And then kaya ka vice presidency and create me in the day. A film. What you say? Na makoye video. Entrophobia ko bias kadia ko gu Red Cross for trank ni ade no. No almost circulate say video ni say sika no mo koto say egu papa ne de. So who know? E ma lewe de be program. Don't think far program. And then no na mo pa Do you know the damage you have caused the man? A chopper we now be panidi be. I posted something some time ago say, "Adia obeye." So me can be assist to say. Ye hwe Nanado eni ne dimi na eni na ban amamu a woye dey. Oh buya. What you say? The intention of even appointing Martin Amidu as a prosecutor was to come and witch hunt NDC. As we speak, there have not been a single case here. Yet court even Yabo John Dramani Mahama di cry day abata ho. Amunfa bi mra. Any evidence. Because and then you can't evidence based politics. yɛnka ne saa watra sɛdeɛ mokɔgyina baabi a no madi ntoro no mabɛpa akyɛw no daabi wode okuta wo fax sɛ asɛm no nie wei nie documents wei kyerɛ sɛ wɔyɛ ya na mo prosecute no
Yes.
but munya biribiara saa as you speak deɛ
Come on, no
you have to foolishly shut up. What you saying? Ka wo bai na bia wo de evidence aba ana wa be kire wei o ye say ye de ne court ha e di asem no say na si ye ana bi saa. But if you don't have anything and you are just talking and just like the way they do their things oh yeah kwan bebre but they will not be able to point to you say e kwan we kwa ha ne de yeah projects bebre but want me nkyerɛ sɛ project we ni ayi de yeah opa abodin ni enko hwehwɛ wɔ hɔ a ebi hɔ ɔmo ka kyerɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ plantain factory deɛ bɛn obɛkɔ no na ɔmo asi 2 bedrooms esi hɔ na ɔmo de dadeɛ nkantan ayi de agye ho wɔhyɛ factory ni abi deɛ na ɛwɔ ewura na afu ho wɔ si dan na si hɔ wodwa na mu wɔ radio so dendenden abɛkɔ no na ɛyɛ 2 bedrooms ana yɛasi hɔ yɛde kanta agye ho ana yɛatom na esi hɔ
no correct.
so ahuno
That's true.
That is the kind of politics omoye and me be say me ka kire nipa kro so ya akola so ya panino he should be wiser omo na ni nyeden
I said back please you people should educate yourself first. NDC is the most useless ever Ghana has got.
Oh yes, but even in our uselessness we are far better than MPP.
Exactly. 100%.
Because tienidina ofri no say baby country bi a ofri mu Ghana bia no go and do your own checks na ka kire say me free krom ha MPP aye we ni na we kro enya say ye it's about time I say you guy respond to kwasi atete ono what dey say
No. All right,
Fred. So want to mean try the MPP aye we kro mu a what you say
yes,
want to mean for MPP into NDC because as we speak we have all the regional hospitals. Now do the military create regions. Regions no create and then why 6 regions, additional 6 regions now be create no. A dear particular and why
Monday, what we're going to do is say, you better NPP's manifesto. Now you be NPP for nankasa questions in their own manifesto. So NPP for catch Ghana for say they will build regional hospitals in regions of Ghana, who regions of Mundi existing regional hospitals. Then we ask them the last 8 years, region Bemun must see regional hospital.
Regional hospital. However, almost say almost district hospitals. Hospitals are districts or Mundi district hospitals.
Yes.
Almost catch it.
Then we ask them questions based on their main manifesto.
They say NPP 16 years, NDC 16 years. Amonchire regional hospital or my day or my see.
Yes.
What you say? Me say Ghana highways, metro roads nyina kesia nyina. Opa yenka. Eye NDC na ye day.
Yes.
What you say? When it comes to schools, me say we mean to me example kra bibia ma fresh school. Ukogolu limam kromu a na secondary school ni wona district capital. NDC was having this kind of project said we should link all regional capitals and district capitals together.
Yes.
They said Ufri, Techima, Elcon Kranza, what you say, a 2 district capitals. So I say, and as you see, we find that Techima, Ababa regional capital, Sunya regional capital. So from Techima to Sunyan, there should be a link road which is tied.
Yes.
Now, NDC, so you see, major regional capitals, there was this kind of project. So Obaya Kwaya Free, Techima, from Kumasi Sunyani to Tamale. What they are called? What they are saying? And the Cohedia Wakwaya. Cocohedia Wakwaya, or NDC, Cohedia Naye. So what you are saying? Mobile 8 years, Muntiminia Quina Hoshe. Ayi Kasajan, Kumasi to Sunyani Road, Educosi Brekum, Kasajan Paya or and no ne. Even in Finfini by Budu Man Cranso or Babia, Etutuno, Cohedia why. be seen there about went to me a day, and say it. So, who
right.
catch it say, me kuroma me free no project when a day, but we are NDC be a district capital biano, or yeah, hot district biano, correct administration blocks on my day, this assembly diana on my day, almost
here.
so
All right.
there's
Fred.
always something to show.
Mate.
Never normal said a million
Yeah.
okay. Banks na mube guno, mube say numa.
Yes.
MPP mube say numa.
That's it. All right, Abusan, for a program here 1 hour with Munufi and I send them every day about 1 hour. I think that there is this suggestion say young cop about 1.5 to 2 hours, but I think that we will have to consider all those kind of things in the now and then maybe the busy by your baby the last tenor. Fred, you get your dancing shoes, medo baby adik to be. Until Abusan for me number joining na ABA yeah album. What we're gonna do is say me starting on the chassis, but Fred about joining me. We're gonna dance today. Tina Fred, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Me and my boy, any asa media say. I think they went to Nigeria, but I believe
my last and Chiama.
All right.
I think say many animal more France now.
All right.
I think say normal Guguna Kwanso are very, very soon. I think say France will get its chapter. However, no, I think say about 3 or 4 branches. So within this month, likely we say or more by day or more inauguration. And on the 27th of this month, I learned say union more struggle or more inauguration. So or more flyer no mobibia ababonti. So I think say I can confidently say 27th of this month, possible say or mobile. And normal susu gugu na kwan so by next month there's the possibility say NDC chapter and so best start with more preparation for elections and other things almost also or more chapter executives. So I think say when all is said and done 1 hour with Mufie is also part of their media sponsors, when it comes to announcement and all other things, I think say more saa kwan so nti me ka kyerɛ obi biara ama no ayɛ aware sɛ on the 27th and other subsequent and other groups almost date no bɛba within this week ama yɛhu ada ɔmo nso ɛbɛyɛ ɔmo deɛ so if anything yɛbɛfa ebi a possible yɛbɛtumi afa ne life yɛbɛfa live ɔmo inauguration yɛntumi koraa yɛbɛyi the except mu bi wɔ ha ama yɛahwɛ deɛ ebi a ɛbɛkɔ so ebi a at the appropriate time na yɛbɛdi ho nkɔmmɔ na yɛahwɛ but for now ne deɛ I think say struggle for the ɔmo confirm ama yɛ sɛ by 27th of this month possibly na ɔmo ɛbɛyɛ ɔmo inauguration nti obiara everybody is invited and as it is NDC as we have it now is for all of us. And the rescue mission it starts now. It will be a plane in the road. Kakra will be a bit in the Abuama, Yaji Ghana and I day. A sea hall. Yen I come home near your day. Yen money and your faith. The unity is the most important thing. With all these things we are doing, it's a unity in a day. Anywhere, M1 in a day. Young coin. So, and come out cry day. Oh, no. I think say, I'm not know much to come up here behind you.
Say MPs, any ministers and what Ashanti region should be ashamed of themselves. And now you need to vice president. Muti Kuroma Titiru Asenso, Bantima constituency, and a Confanoche hospitals. A champa Breso 1974. I will start to see children's world. Up to now, ministers are free, president are free, a beer free, and so, Lord, no, I'm going to say. Do you have a leader?